I am super excited to share this video with you because I am talking about the most debated, the most relevant topic of English language, and that is 3 ways to get fluency in English language. First of all, dear audience, I want you to participate in this discussion. I want you to write me a comment in the comment section what really fluency is. When you want to be fluent in English, what do you really want to be able to do? Because if I pose this question to 5 persons, I would get the 5 different answers, because the definition of fluency to different persons are different. So I literally mean that you should participate in this video, because this video is very much important and some of the persons are totally wrong in their perception of being fluent in English. For some people, fluency is just being able to have a conversation, normal conversation on the topics like small talk or your friends or family or work, like that topics. If you are fluent, if you can easily have conversation on these topics, you are fluent. But for some persons, fluency is related with the test and the exam. If you are on a certain level and you have to achieve a certain level to achieve or to enter into the university or apply for visa, if you are not able to pass the exam, or if you are not able to pass the exam or test, you have to prove yourself, because fluency for them is to pass the test, that nothing else. But for me, fluency is not just like exam. Life is not just like exam. We are not supposed to pass this exam of fluency. No, not at all. Fluency is the mix of ability. Fluency is a mix of ability: reading, writing, listening and speaking skills, and most importantly, when you have confidence to stay in conversation. This is called fluency. Fluency doesn't mean that you are an advanced English learner, you are an advanced English speaker. No, it doesn't necessarily mean. Fluency means that your pace, your tone, your facial expression, your confidence level is supporting you. Your facial expressions are supporting you when you are communicating some question, when you are communicating your ideas, and the most importantly, when you stick with your mistake, you are able to correct your mistake in the conversation and to fix that mistake in the conversation in spite of avoiding the situation. You have the ability to go with the conversation and to don't avoid the mistake, and don't avoid the mistake or conversation when you have done something wrong. Your facial expressions are supporting you, your eye contact is supporting you, your pace is quite comfortable, and you are relaxed, calm and composed. When you have all these mix of abilities, it means that you are fluent in English. Now I am waiting for your answer. What does really fluency means to you? Are you just in your orthodox or traditional old methodology of being accurate or being right or have to pass the test? Then you are fluent in English. And then, sorry to say, dear audience, most of you are mistaken, because if fluency is this criteria, that you have to pass the test, you have to pass the exam, then tell me, most of the high scorers in the test, in the exams, why they are not fluent in English? Why they can't speak? Why their facial expression don't support them? Why their space, and they become nervous, they become hesitant, they become anxious, they want to avoid, they want to run away from the conversation which is going on in English, in spite of getting so many marks on their cards. So there is mistake in the perception about fluency. Fluency is not about something being accurate. Fluency is the mixture of abilities, whether these are reading, whether it is writing, whether it is speaking skills. All these skills combined together, and apart from that, other skills like your confidence, your pace, your comfort level, your relaxed position, all these count to make you a fluent English speaker. Now there are 3 ways by which you can easily get fluency in your English language. The first way, the most important way, and you might say me that, ma'am, are you crazy? Because in our old traditional way of English language, there are only 2 conceptions. Either you are wrong, either you are right. There is no other third chance. So I want you to less focus on the accuracy. Don't focus on the accuracy. Accuracy, what is accuracy? In tests, in exams, in traditional schools, in regular English classes, teacher says that your answer is right or wrong. There is no intermediate level. There is no chance of mistake. If you do any kind of mistake, you are fooling yourself in the class. This is the methodology. All are laughing at you. But life is not about that. So just don't go for accuracy. Don't try to be accurate. So at this point, it is very much important to change your mindset. Change your mentality about this right or wrong perception. Do get out of it. If you commit mistake, you have the ability to fix that mistake in the conversation. You have the confidence to tackle the situation, and you don't avoid the situation, and you are not hesitant. You are not worried that I have done something wrong. So if you have all this ability, you are certainly fluent in English. And if you don't have, you can develop this, because it can easily develop by practice. Number 2 thing that is very much important, focus on the English you need to use, because English or any language is very fast and very complicated. And the most important mistake what all English learners they commit while having this journey is that they are focusing on every kind of English learning, on every word of English language. They are not focusing what kind of English they need to use. There are 2 different ways to do it. First is be specific. If you are a freelancer designer or a web designer, you need to be expert in the usage of language in your area. You need to know what kind of conversation I am going to have with my clients, what kind of words I am going to use, what kind of expressions I require to continue my talk, what kind of arguments, what kind of language, what kind of idioms, phrases I need in order to be impressive, in order to be communicative in my own area of expertise. And if it really mixes or it really happens with the language in which you are expert. But if you are passionate about talking about growing vegetables or flying drones, you should acquire the language of that. And you can certainly be fluent in English by joining any online community or course or program, or just watching the video on that specific topic. In this way, you are getting the new ways of expressing yourself, of your opinion, and to use the words of that relevant criteria. Number 2, can you tell me that how many English words native speakers use in most of their language, in most of their conversation? Remember, dear audience, all the native English speakers, they use only 10 to 12% of all English language. 10 to 12%. This is called active vocabulary. The active vocabulary which they use quite often in their conversation. It means that if you want to be fluent in English, you require only 10 to 12% of that language, because they know 23 to 24% of passive language, passive vocabulary. And what is passive vocabulary? when they are reading something or when they are listening something, they can easily know the meaning of it, but they can't use themselves. This is called passive vocabulary. And now you can be a fluent English speaker by just focusing on the 10 to 12% of active usage of English language. You can use or you can learn the first 10,000, then move on to the next 10,000, and in this way you can develop the habit of learning English language and putting them in your active use. Don't grab all English language, because you can't grab all English language. If you are running after the whole language, you are certainly being complicate yourself. Number 3, the most important is that you have to surround yourself with English language. This is the must and the most basic requirement of English language. You can join the online community, you can join the English programs, you can join any online English speaking country. But if you are not living in that country, you can surround yourself with English and you can play the role of role play. You have to assume as if you are a teacher, then you have to use the vocabulary of teacher. If you are posing yourself as you are a butcher, you have to play the role of butcher and speak in that way the butcher used, and use the vocabulary of that butcher. The need and the demand of role play, and if you really play the role play, it is very effective, very easy to be fluent in English. So these are 3 ways by which you can make yourself fluent in English, and you have to develop your mix of abilities, not focus only on one ability. Fluency is not about be an advanced English user. It is your reading, writing, listening and speaking skills. Apart from them, your confidence, your relaxed position, your pace, your tone, your voice, and how you behave while you have committed some mistake really counts when you are called a fluent in English speaker. Let me know in the comment section what do you really mean by fluency in English language, and when you say I want to be fluent in English language, what do you want to be really able to do? So with this positive note, we end this video. Till the next video, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.